Alright, so after further examination, it looks like what I had in the paint is just some dust. No solvent pop, which is good because that means I can sand it out. Praise the Lord. What's going on, guys? Three Wheels on the Block back again. We're in the garage with the Toyota Tacoma and the Barcelona red. And the good news is I did not have solvent pop. And the okay news is that I've got to sand all the trash out that landed in the paint, which I'm not really sure what happened. I mean, look, it's not that dirty in here. I don't know what, you know. I'm guessing it probably fell off these rafters. I didn't blow the rafters off this time, so it's probably on me. Probably need to get a ladder, blow all the dust out of there. Probably need to build a paint bay, paint booth. Anyway, here we are. So I had one area where there was a bug or something got here, and I went to swipe it off and revealed the primer underneath. Still a little bit, yeah. So we're going to sand this area down, fix that. And there was an area on the hood right here where there was a drip from the primer that I just didn't get flat. I mean, it feels kind of flat, but you can see the ring there, so we're going to get rid of that. There were some scratches along this side that you can't really tell because the orange peel is hideous here because it didn't fully bed in. So I'm going to have to go in and I'm just going to kind of 800 this or 1000 grit on that, and that'll smooth that out. And then I'll put 1000 grit in this area here and smooth that out. I think that's it. Probably just take this line here and from there to the edge of the hood. Then we'll probably dust a little bit of base coat on there. And then get down here to the front bumper cover, and I'm going to sand this down, prime this area so I can get a nice sealer slash coverage, sealer color coverage, and we'll paint that. I think there was another burn through. That one covered up actually. So the only other one that I did notice was right here on the handle. Need to fix that one. And another one right there on the handle. And I hit these with a scuff pad, but apparently that was pretty harsh. So we'll fix that. Now, of course, the only part that doesn't have any dirt in it, I have to fix. Because that's usually how it goes. So we'll do the bumper cover, the hood, and fix this fender. I think I'll just mask everything else off. I've got enough clear to finish everything there. Let's see. This handle came out good. Came out really good, actually. Yeah, I like that. That looks real good. Nice. And that one came out good. Back of the cab looks good. Around the third brake light looks good. And man, if I didn't have all this trash laying in this paint, this thing would be ready to roll. There's a little bit of extra texture in here. Just did not bed the clear in as much as I'd like to. You can see a little extra texture down towards the bottom of the fender. Not near as much up top. So we'll take care of that with a cut and a buff. And the tailgate. Yeah, it's dirt free, I think. Yeah, no dirt in the tailgate. No dirt in the tailgate. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually think I might know why there was no trash in the Pole Hunter Camaro. And it had nothing to do with the plastic curtain that I had up. It had to do with aerodynamics. So when I did the Pole Hunter Camaro, nose was facing this way towards the door, and the back was facing that way. And everything was pulled right down the streamline of the car, so I think I had enough vacuum that nothing landed in the car. Because it was pretty strong. In fact, if you went to open up that door over there, it'd snatch the door handle out of your hand. Food for thought. Anyway, just a little bit of cleanup to do here, nothing too bad. And I do have one sag in the clear I've got to fix here, and then there was something that happened in the color. I don't know what happened here, but you can see we're slightly lighter. I still have no idea what happened. I think I had a drip of clear coat come down and land here, and I think I rubbed it or something thinking it was something else, like possibly a water drip, and ended up with transition in the metallic. So I'll sand this down. I got to dust some color in there, and then we'll blend this back out. Shouldn't be too bad. I'll get the color blender out, and we'll just kind of blend this area, and then I'll re-clear a portion of this bed. I'm not going to re-clear the whole bed because it's not needed. Probably just from the corner, you know, just do a small color and some clear here. And then aside from that, everything else is just cut and buff. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm sure you guys are tired of me talking, so yeah, I apologize. I didn't catch all the painting action because I wasn't moving the camera around. I've really tried to just focus on getting the job done. And I will say this, I will bring better content of painting action in the future. I know I said that before. I'm working out the logistics. So I can either get a camera mounted to my head or to my chest or somewhere where you can actually see what's going on. So I got a little experimentation to do, but we'll get better footage of the action. That said, I'm going to put this up on the tripod, and we're going to go ahead and prep some body panels for some color and re-clear. And I think I'm going to go ahead and tape up the rest of the truck first so I don't get anything cross-contaminated. So let's see where we at. I think I said I'd turn the camera back on when I got ready to spray the areas that I needed to fix. So we took 1,000 grit paper, went over the hood, the fender, the bumper cover. That's 1,000 grit with a combination of a scuff pad. Got everything taped up that doesn't need to be painted. I've got everything exposed that does need to be painted. I had a couple burn through areas on the door handles, which I mentioned before. So you see I got those exposed, everything else taped up. Had an area where I had a couple drips with the clear coat right here. I've already sanded that down. I went a little aggressive on this. I think I started with 400. I up-sanded it to 1,000 grit, so we should be good to dust our color in this area. Then we'll use a color blender or some thinned out paint or over-reduced paint to kind of blend it in to the panel. That'll take care of this area here. This is just going to be adding some color into the areas where I had some burn through. So I'm just going to use base coat here. Burn throughs are real small, so I don't have to worry about that. I think I'm going to actually go on the front bumper. After I hit it with some wax and grease remover and clean it up real good, I had some dark areas like here, and a line all the way across the front down here, and a dark area here. I'll probably put some primer on there. The base coat by itself may be enough. I can probably dust enough base on there to get the color even, then come back with the color blender and just even out the entire bumper cover. There was a spot right here where the paint actually chipped up, and it is now smooth to the touch, but I'm not sure if it's good. So I may work that with a block with maybe 600 or 800 and then come back and see how smooth it actually is. Then I'll put base here and I'll work the base in this area and then come and use color blender and blend it into the panel. The hood is going to get base coat all the way across. I ran short on base, so I had to go get another paint, which I don't like to do, but I don't think I have enough color with, I mean, I've got maybe 1/8 of a pint left, and because of the burn through, it's going to soak up more color. So I'm going to go full strength on my burn through areas, and then I'll reduce it down to take care of everything else. And probably full strength on the hood. I'm actually going to do a blend just in case, because this portion of the hood was completely painted. I didn't do 2 coats here. I did 1. Actually, let's see. Yeah, 1 full coat of base on the hood. This side got sanded back down, so I'm going to take the base here, and I'll probably stop my base about somewhere in here, and then I'll go with the color blender the rest of the way, just to kind of even it out, because this side was actually pretty solid in color. So basically treating this like a half a hood repair. If the hood was scratched up on one side, you come in here with your color, and then you'd blend it, you know, across the hood, or you could shoot the whole panel. But my reason for using the reduced color / color blender is when you add another color in, even if it's the same, you typically will mix them together to get you something really close. Now, the jobber that I used is really good. It looks exactly the same in the can. I did not do a spray out. Yep, probably should have, but I think we're good. I'm pretty sure we're good. So I'm just going to use a little massaging in my paint technique to take care of that. You notice there's some flat areas of base, like right there, and right there, and right there, and right there. And that's just where I went through with the sanding, which is why I'm actually taking base coat and going over the entire hood again, because I want to make sure that everything bonds well and we don't have any issues in the future. Everything on this side of the truck turned out good, which is why all this is masked off, with the exception of that one imperfection there where a bug landed, and the burn throughs on the hood and the door handles on the other side. So nothing real major, small stuff, but it's better to cover it this way so it looks even instead of looking like a repair. Because if you come in here and you just go some paint here, then it's probably not going to look even over the whole fender. So that's why I took it to a much larger space, much larger area, and we should be good to go. Probably talk too much sometimes, but I try to explain things because sometimes guys have questions like, well, how do I fix this and how do I fix that? So this is how I'm fixing it. You got to burn through, go back, dust you a little bit of base coat on, work it in real slow. Once you've got solid coverage, throw you some color blender in there, reduce your base coat down, go in there and fan it out. You don't have to fan it real far, just far enough for the metal flake in this case. It's got a little bit of tiny metal flake in this paint, or for your color to even itself out. Now, if this is silver, redo the whole panel. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If it's a silver or a pearl or a tri-coat, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. This is a pretty forgiving color for it being metallic. So, there you go. Mouthful. Let me set this thing down. Let's get back to work. So if you make a mistake, just go back and fix it. What can I say? Over here pulling the paint. Yeah. Over here pulling the tape off the door, which was on there way too long, probably 2 or 3 days, because I got distracted and didn't pull the tape off. I pulled some of the clear up on the door, so I came back, I sanded the area down, I dusted a little bit of base coat in there to fix that, and then we're going to put clear coat back over it. Over here on the passenger side of the bed, I made the mistake of putting a hard line in between the area that I fixed and this area. I meant to pull the tape and paper. I meant to pull the taper back, and I didn't pull it back, so I ended up with a hard line here. So I sanded that down, 1000 grit, came back, dusted some base coat in there. I'm hit it with clear. Should remove that line. Should remove it. I think it'll remove it. There's a faint line there on camera, but I think the clear will take care of blending that away. And then up here on this fender, I went to do a blend down in this area, which I came to fix a section of this fender that was damaged. There was something in here, I can't remember what it was. Ended up with some burn through in this area, so I dusted a little bit of base coat in there and then feathered it out across here. So the color is pretty close. It wasn't exact with what I got as a replacement because I ran a little bit short and I didn't have enough to mix them together to make it as consistent. I didn't want to play with the mixing rack to see if I could get any closer. So I put the new color down on this bottom half and then just kind of faded it up into this alcove. So you're going to have a transition in your metallic because this is curved. So that's where I blended it at, in that transitional curve. And then I just kind of faded it back this way. There's not much left between here and the door, but it should be enough to just transition into there nice and smooth. With this ridge that's in here, you'll have a transition of color anyway, so it's going to be brighter up top here, and this will be a little bit darker depending on how the sun hits or vice versa. So that should work. Those are the areas I need to fix. I'm going to take some production clear coat and lay in this area, the spot on the driver's door, the area on the back of the bed where I showed you. Oh yeah, and one more. I didn't show you guys this, but I missed an area on top of the cab of the truck right here. For some reason, I didn't get enough base coat right down here. So I sanded it down, came in, we put some base coat in here, dusted it out a little bit further, just kind of blend it in, and then we're going to come in here with the clear, and we'll lay some clear across here. And we got to cut and buff the whole top of the truck. So we'll do that, and we should be good to go. Those of you who have watched the video series this far, thank you. It's taken quite a bit more than I expected it was going to take to get here, but nevertheless, we're here. So I've got to do some cutting and buffing on this Tacoma truck, and essentially what I'm working with is some areas that I had to repair, which I've got to cut those. Had a little bit of dirt nibs and stuff landed in the paint. And then when I did the main paint job, there were some dirt nibs and stuff that landed, so we decided to just cut it all at the same time to save time, because, you know, time is money, and I'm always trying to put money back in your pocket. So, plan of attack, I've got a spray bottle here. Got this spray bottle, which, this is a 2-liter spray bottle. I've just got some water in there with a little bit of quick detailer. Spray it on the surface. We'll wet sand everything down. Start with probably 2,000, and then we'll go to 3,000 grit. Then polish it out. I may go up to 5,000. It just depends on how it starts to polish out. If it polishes out easy, then we won't have to cut as much, but it's easier to cut more and buff less than to cut less and buff more. At least that's what Sprayway says. So that's the plan of attack. I'll show you the arsenal of what we're going to be using. So we've got a 6-inch short throw DA with an interface pad. Critical use the interface pad. And if you don't have these art bins for your sandpaper, I highly recommend them, because it makes your life really easy when it comes to separating all your grits. So I've got a Trizac 1500. I may start with this guy. And then we have some 1000 grit here, and this is 2,000 and 3,000 and 5,000. So we can definitely take our polish up to as far as we need to. I may start with 1,000 grit. Sometimes getting 1,000 grit scratches out with polish is difficult, which is why you're going to want to up sand to 1,500 or even 2,000 or even 3,000. One of these. So that's my 6-inch. And then over here in the 5-inch bin, let's see, 400, 600, 800. Got some 1,000 grit right here. Nope, that's 1,200. And 1,500. More 1,500. Then we got, let's see, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000. Lots and lots of 3,000. So probably sand up to 3,000 grit somewhere in there, and then we'll polish it out. I'll be using, so I'm going to try this SMR 950 finishing compound. It's the first time I've tried this. Marker Colbert, Speedy Colbert Finish Network talks about it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. That's before. And that's after. Before and after. So yeah, pretty big difference between those two panels. Here she is in all her Barcelona red glory. There's the top. There's the hood. Bumper cover. Side. Bed sides. Tailgate. Fix the dent back here. Yeah, boy, she turned out good. I'm tired. It's been a long one. I think I say after every vehicle I do, I'm always tired and worn out. But anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. This is the 2018 Toyota Tacoma in Barcelona red. And it looks a lot better than it did when it rolled in. Got the luster back in the paint because it's new paint. And she's going to go home to her owner. My name's Erwin. This 3 Wheels in a Block. We're giving back what time is taken away. We'll see you soon.